Sorry, guys, we'll just wait for the live stream to generate and then we'll get going. All right, here we go. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Connect Emerging Market Innovators. This is a pitch competition that brings together startups which are breaking boundaries of their growing markets with leading reporters from across the globe. My name is Jim Glade, and I'm a principal at Publicize, which is a PR firm for growth. I'm joined today by my colleague, Maria Delgado, who also helped organize this event. So many thanks to you, Maria, as well. We're super pleased to be joined today by a host of leading journalists who report in the fields of startups, technology, government, and business. We're also equally privileged to host 7 very exciting startups from emerging market countries as they pitch their ventures in front of these distinguished media judges. Before we begin, I did want to mention that if any startups that are listening have any questions regarding PR, please feel free to reach out to me at jim@publicize.co. Also, we're honored to have a special guest today. This special guest is actually an expert in startups in Latin America and beyond, in Europe and the United States as well. So we're really happy to have her here. Marie Berry is the operating partner and chief marketing officer for the Venture City, a collection of operator-led investors that support tech startups from first ticket to first round from around the globe. Maria and her team accelerate the growth of promising early stage startups, and her work extends across Europe, Latin America, and the US innovation hubs. She's a founder herself. She recently sold her marketing automation platform, Kara, in 2021. And before having successfully had her digital marketing consultancy called Chinatown Bureau, that was also acquired by a New York City-based agency, Icreon, in 2020. Maria is also an active angel investor and startup mentor and a founding member of Dreamers and Doers, a community of entrepreneurial women, and a member of networks such as First Round Capital, Fast Track, and On Deck Angel Fellowship. Marie, we're really happy to have you with us. Please, if you'd like, I'm happy to have you share your screen as well if you need it. Otherwise, kind of take it away.
Yeah, no need to share the screen. Like, I'm more so excited about all the startups that, are pitching here later. But yeah, I'm super excited to be here, learn more about your companies as well. I'm not a judge. And also I want to give a quick shout out to one of our portfolio companies, Simply Road. Alvaro is going to pitch later. But yeah, I think it's a really good example for what type of companies we invest in. So the Venture City, like Jim said, is an early stage venture fund. We invest in product focused companies, really in 3 regions. So the US, LATAM, and Europe. We typically invest with 100 to 300K in like the pre-seed companies, and then 1 to 4 million in like seed Series A companies. So we're now talking about LATAM founders, and like you just heard, I was a founder myself. So, and I still believe I'm a founder at heart. And I think that at the moment, the news, like, you can be disheartened by it because there's a lot of like, the market slowdown and a lot of news that come out where it's really tough for founders. You need to have a thick skin. So I was thinking about what to share for all the founders that are here on the line. And I have to say, I'm actually originally from Bolivia. So this region is like dear to me, just personally as well. So the 3 things I wanted to share for any founder to remind or remember as you're building are the fact that, first thing, you're no stranger to volatility, right? Like, all of you know how to work during inflation and political unrest. So I think historically, we know that all of you guys can fare a potential recession. So that's one thing where I'm like, I'm not worried. I know one of the really strongest founders come out of your region. The second thing is obviously the adoption and like appetite for new technologies. Like I think the adoption of mobile internet penetration was like 77%, supposed to be more than 80% by 2025. So that's really great news also for investors. And then the third thing is there are investors in the US that are specifically focused on LATAM and see this really as an opportunity. Yes, there are a lot of risks, but on the other hand, find those investors because they will be the ones that go with you through thick and thin. And yeah, I believe there's a great opportunity here. So wanted to share those three things. And apart from that, I'm super excited to hear to the pitches from all of your companies, and good luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marie, for those words. And really, I feel the same. I think the entrepreneurs from emerging markets, LATAM, are really some of the best in the world as well. So Maria, thank you so much. If anybody would like to learn more about the Venture City and their initiatives, you can write to Marie, marie@theventure.city. Marie, as well, if you wanted to share your email in the chat for any of the panelists. Thanks again for joining us and kicking us off.
Sure, happy to. Maria, if you could share my email, I don't think I can share with everyone here.
Oh, sure. I'll be sure to do it as well.
Jim. Yeah.
Here you go.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. Now it's time to meet the panelists. So let's hop right into it. Panelists, when I say your name, if you wouldn't, and your bio, if you wouldn't mind just getting up on the screen really quickly, so we can put a face to a bio, that would be great. We'll start off with Jose Caparoso, who is a reporter covering the digital economy, business, and technology in Latin America for Forbes. He has a storied career in journalism in the region, working for some of Colombia's largest newspapers, including Weekly Semana and daily El Tiempo. Jose also worked as a reporter for CNN in Espanol and has interviewed world business leaders, including Netflix co-founder Reed Hastings and Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. Jose, thanks for being here. I think you're on mute, Jose.
Thanks for the invite. They want to say something. Just a good look for everyone, for all the people and workers that are here.
Fantastic. Thank you again, Jose. Next up, we have Veronica Galan, who is a seasoned journalist with more than a decade of professional experience in various local, national, and international print, electronic, and digital publications. She currently serves as the editor-in-chief of Business Insider Mexico, which is part of the Business Insider group of publications. She was also an editor for CNN Expansión and a correspondent for Reuters before that. Veronica, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good luck to everyone.
It's great to have you. Next up, calling from sunny England, we have David Thorpe, who is the Special Projects Editor at FT Advisor, an award-winning news and opinion source for the financial intermediary market, which is part of the Financial Times group of trusted business publications. David covers everything from investments to inflation at FT and has over a decade of experience covering the financial space. He previously worked as an editor for the long-established What Investment magazine. David, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me back, Jim, and best of luck to all of the pitches.
It's a pleasure to have you. Next up, calling us from the other side of the world, we have John Bartlett, who is a contributing writer to Rest of World, an international nonprofit journalism organization that covers technology ecosystems outside of Silicon Valley and Europe. He is also the Chile correspondent for The Guardian, one of Britain's largest daily newspapers. John has been a longtime contributor to The Economist Intelligence Unit, a research and analysis division of The Economist, and his stories have also been published in major publications, including The Washington Post, BBC, The New York Times, and others. John, it's really great to have you here with us.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and yeah, good luck to everyone presenting today.
Thanks a bunch. Next up, we have Helene Doch, who is a contributor for Entrepreneur Magazine, where she covers entrepreneurship and innovation across Latin America. She's also a contributor to Latin America Reports, which provides news about the region for an English-speaking audience. And she's also a vice president at Publicize, working in the communication space. So Helene, thank you so much for joining us as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for the invitation. And I'm looking forward to listen to everybody's pitches. Good luck.
Awesome. And last but not least, we have Fernando Nunez, who is a contributing writer to the Bogota Post, Colombia's largest English language news outlet. The print and digital editions have been publishing for nearly a decade, and the paper has interviewed some of Colombia's most influential politicians, including Presidents Alvaro Uribe, Ivan Duque, and current Vice President Francia Marquez. Fernando is also in the communication space, working as a Vice President at Publicize. So Fernando, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Jim, and thanks for the ñ in my last name. And good luck to everyone.
I try, man, I try. Well, all the judges, I want to thank you so much for being with us and taking time out of your busy days. We're really excited for your valuable insights for this competition as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's begin the pitch competition. Startups, I'll go ahead and I'll bring you on in the presenter role. You'll get a chance to pitch for 2 minutes sharing your screen, and I will be timing you. After each pitch, we'll open up for comments and questions from a few journalists, and then we'll bring on the next startup. So here to start us off, we have Henry Keenan from Red Atlas. Henry, give me 1 second and I will give you the presenter role. All right, Henry, you should be able to share your screen.
Okay, should be shared now.
Perfect. I can see it and we can hear you loud and clear. So whenever you're ready, just go ahead and start and I'll start the timer.
Perfect. Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you, Jose, especially for your feature of our acquisition of Finco. Really appreciated that. So we are Red Atlas, and we are a real estate data, news, and insight company in Latin America. So most real estate information is not accessible in the world. And so what we're doing is we're trying to change that and make it accessible by providing consumers, professionals, organizations, and governments with real estate property level data for the first time. It's $16.5 billion dollar market opportunity, and most of the world is currently not served outside of the US and Western Europe. And when I originally got to JLL, I was expecting to have some kind of, I was an analyst for the Caribbean, working on bringing Chick-fil-A to Puerto Rico. And I thought there'd be some kind of Bloomberg terminal data product for Latin America or for real estate in general. And I found out that was only available in those countries. And so tried to change it within JLL at first, but then ended up starting our own company here. So what we do is we take data from a lot of different places, mortgage banks, search engine maps, government property registries, and listings, and combine it into 1.5 million property profiles, at least in Puerto Rico. We're planning to do that in many more countries. This is generally what it looks like when you first log in. And then as you go in, here's old San Juan, you can kind of click on properties and listings as you go in. This is what a property profile looks like. We have everything from transaction information to listings, to past listings, to flood zone maps, to property permits, whatever you can imagine for that property. We're also opening up a news service platform where we're both aggregating news and linking back to the original news article. And we're also going to start generating news based on the platform data that we're generating. So, and this is the final view of the platform. Currently, we're offering listings for free in Puerto Rico. We're going to do this in 6 other Latin American countries within the next few months. We also have a $100 a month service for professionals in Puerto Rico. And we also offer research per hour. Our current research clients are JLL, Invest Puerto Rico, Sotheby's, and a few others. So this is our future product lineup. Eventually, we want to service governments and enterprises and APIs. Puerto Rico has been a fantastic market for us. Huge real estate community, 50,000 plus, high net worth, generally speaking, such a great test bed for us to have revenue and test both Latin and American clients.
10 seconds.
Eventually we want to expand, and I'll just, this is our team, and thank you everyone for joining.
Awesome. Thanks so much Henry, for the great presentation. It's hard to go first, man, but you did a really good job, and I know it's a really tight timeline too. So great presentation. We'll go ahead. We'll open up for questions from the media judges. Judges, please feel free to just shout out or raise your hand in Zoom, and I'll call on you. But please go ahead. David, I see you. Please.
Sure, thank you. Henry, it sounds like a really interesting idea. You put up your three pricing models.
Sure.
Freemium and $100 a month and research per hour. And what's the breakdown at the moment in terms of the customers or clients that you've got? How many are on each of those, and how do you see that evolving longer term? Is there a risk that the vast majority of the people that this serves are quite happy on the freemium package and don't get elevated to the others?
Yeah, so right now we're working on, we just acquired this company, Finco, in Colombia. And basically, so we're going to be able to open up our freemium offering in 6 additional Latin American countries: Mexico, Panama, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Argentina. So the short-term plan is to do that, but the freemium is really for consumers. The people that are going to be paying us for $100 a month are think appraisers, real estate brokers, people like that, even like auditors who are trying to underwrite real assets. Right now 95% of our income is from research.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else? Veronica, John, Eleni. Don't be shy, or feedback as well for Henry. All right, Henry. Well, that might be a sign of a good presentation, sir.
Or a terrible one. Well, thank you. Thanks, Jim. Hopefully good. So
No,
thanks, Jim, and thanks everyone.
Great. Congratulations on everything you built so far, man.
Of course, thanks.
All right, folks. Next up, we'll go ahead and bring on Sarah from Outfit 365. Sarah, give me 1 second and I will give you the presenter role.
Yeah.
There you are.
Okay.
All righty. You should be able to share your screen now, Sarah.
Yeah. Let me share a moment and you can share you can see my screen.
No, not yet. There is a square button with an arrow in it at the
Yes,
bottom.
I know, and I share. Yeah, sure. Right now.
No such luck. If you'd like, Sarah, as well, you can send me the presentation to my email.
Okay.
Let me, and then we can just move on to the next person really quickly as well. And let me just ping you my email in the chat real quick.
Okay, let me, yeah, okay.
And then I can run the presentation for you. Yep, go ahead and send it there, and we'll move on to the next person as well. Judges in the scorecard, just be really careful. I know we're jumping around just a little bit as well. So just as a heads up, if you can be on a heads up on who's presenting. We will actually move we'll go ahead and move to Raincoat, which will make sense in the judges scorecard as well. Is that okay as well? I know you had mentioned earlier, Jonathan, about some noise issues, but would it be all right if we proceeded with you?
Yeah, I think it'd be fine. I mean, I think it'd probably be safer if I grab the next one just in case, because I know I keep muting the mic on my end and they're kind of like right there, but I think they're literally wrapping it up.
Okay, cool. I mean, from our side, we don't hear anything. Then we can, if it's all right with you, Gabriel, can we skip to you from Nowports? Gabriel from Nowports.
I already sent the presentation.
Oh, you did? Okay, let me check it out. All right, guys. Sorry for the for the technical difficulties. All right, Sarah, yeah, it's still charging. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring on Gabriel really quickly. Gabriel, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the presenter role. And thank you very much, Gabriel, for stepping up to the plate, sir.
No problem.
All right. You should be able to share your screen, Gabriel, whenever you're ready.
I'm trying.
Okay, that's it.
1 second.
You can check if you
Okay, try this now. Go
Yes,
ahead,
now it's
Gabriel.
working.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Sorry about that.
Perfect. Can you see my screen?
Yep. Oh, that's how I look. Geez.
Excellent. First of all, my name is Gabriel Garcia da Rosa. I'm the Global Development Director of Nowport. So I'm going to ask you guys, first of all, to look around. And whether you are in an office or your living room, 90% of the product you see around you, a TV, the sofa, the couch, the chairs, everything, or 90% at least, have been moved overseas, either by sea, air, or ground transportation, okay? So the supply chain is an industry that has been one of the oldest industry in the world. And during the pandemic, some of the industry stopped or were really affected, while the supply chain and logistics keep growing and keep the world moving, okay? So this is an industry that is essential for the world to keep moving goods around. And because of the pandemic, a lot of the demands and the delivery on time, the transparency, and the delays on the cargo were a daily problem for the industry and for the import and export companies. We believe that this consequence can be prevented with the use of technology and digitalization. So Nowport is here as the first digital freight forwarder for Latin American market. We have spent over 4 years, almost 4 years now, developing and customize a platform and a solution for our customers. It's a solution that brings our customers the use of technology to take control of the cargo with financial tools. And also, we put together an expert team in the industry of supply chain. Okay. Nowport software help our customer 24/7. They can have access to our platform, to our mobile app. They can track their cargo. They can quote with us. They can check reports. They can see how the price of the shipping lanes are moving. They can update track of their shipping, and they can keep control of everything that's going on their supply chain. We believe that beside the logistics solution that we provide, also we are helping them with their cash flow, as we brought a financial solution in the inventory financing for our customer, helping them to try to bring more goods, stock themselves so they can get faster sales in the process as well. We are making what we call, we're making a boring industry sexy. We are growing over 600% year over year. We have been active almost 4 years, like I mentioned before, and we have presence in 7 different countries with 10 different offices. We raised over $240 million investment. We became a unicorn last May, becoming the first Logitech unicorn in Latin America. For us, it's not just about a solution, a technology solution, and innovation. It's about the culture we create. We have 700 people living the Nowport way on a daily basis. Thank you so much.
Awesome, Gabriel. Thank you so much for a great presentation. Also, congrats on all your guys' success too. That's so awesome. Much. Sure. We'll go ahead and we'll open up questions from the media panel or any initial feedback for Gabriel's presentation.
I do have a question. Yeah, thank you so much, Gabriel, for this presentation. It was very interesting. My question would be about sustainability, and especially the logistics industry is an industry that is very much discussed in terms of sustainability and the environment. So maybe you can explain a little bit how you're tackling that issue.
So you're working about, your question is about sustainability on environment?
Exactly, the environmental impact of supply chain, especially shipping, and how your solution is helping, or maybe is trying to help improve sustainability.
For sure, yes, we are partnered with some of our partners, and our suppliers are working on reducing the the pollution on the environment and the impact that has all the shipping. We see the shipping lines, the air freight, and we're working with them. There is a program globally to try to get the reduction to a 20% in the 2050. The way Nowport is working on that is that we keep pushing some of our partners to keep improving the digitalization and technology, so we can reduce the use of papers. They need to keep printing stuff, and we can start flowing the information technology on the cloud. Right now, for you guys to know, whenever you do a shipment from China, for example, there has to be a package of documents that need to be shipped physically to Latin America, right? And we're working on getting everything in the cloud, so the communication, the documentation, and everything is right there. But yeah, definitely supply chains has an impact on the ground transportation, sea transportation, and we keep working with more and more private partners that are getting into the clean and green clean fuel, for example.
Okay, thank you.
I think I might have saw John on mute. John, did you have a question?
Yeah, but Jose's got his hand up. I mean, my question was purely, I was actually going to ask, I was going to make a comment about about the model to start with, but then when the slide came up towards the end, and obviously it's going incredibly well, and there's a lot of kind of scaling happening already. I was going to ask how he's going to, break into a very competitive and very kind of specialized industry, but it seems like that's already underway. So I think let's go with Jose's question.
Perfect.
Sounds
Thank you
good,
so much.
Jose.
Okay, Gabriel, of course, as you said, you are a unicorn, so you are a well-known company in the startup ecosystem in Latin America. But I think that you have an opportunity. Could you specify how you're contributing to the crisis in the supply chain? It's a big topic that everybody is talking about, not just in Latin America, but also around the world.
Definitely. Yeah, so I think everybody knows there was a block on the Suez Canal, and there is some port delays around the world because of the pandemic and just because of the demand that is going on the supply chain. When Nowport bring technology, what we bring in is a good process flow of communication. For you guys to know, there is over 150 emails back and forward between the factory in China, the import in Colombia, the agent that we're using overseas, Nowport, the shipping line. So when you have all that type of communication, sometimes there is typos or there is errors that bring some delays, right? The more manual work is put on this communication and supply chain, everything gets delayed. Errors are made by human mistake, of course. And when you bring technology, and we are a data-driven technology company, what you're bringing is efficiency. We are actually saving people that work with us, customers that work with us. We are saving them around 20 hours a week just on filling Excel sheet, on filling manual information. And sometimes in that manual information, there's mistake. So if you bring in an import from Asia and you put in the wrong number, that shipping and that container is going to get stuck in some port because the number on the container and the number on the document doesn't match. When you put technology doing this and you put into artificial intelligence and you put all this digitalization, you are reducing the margin of error. So everything starts flowing way better, okay? So people have more information, more transparency of what's going on, and now they can control the supply chain. They can know where to bring the goods and when it's going to be less expensive and when it's going to be more efficient to move the goods in a different lane.
Thanks, Gabriel. And thanks, Jose, for the question. Veronica, I see your hand raised.
Yes, thank you. Gabriel, how does your offer incorporate the matter of the custom authorities in each country? Because in some of the countries in Latin America, there is a lot of trouble with customs and it takes a lot of time to get all the merchandise passed through the authorities.
Veronica, that's a great question. So we actually partner locally with the custom agents. We have different custom agents in each country and the different costs. So for example, in Mexico, we have people in the East Coast, in the West Coast. And what we do, we partner with them and we partner with people that is specialized in different commodities on different goods. So we can provide our customer a 360 service. So not only we are the logistic partner and the technology partner, but we also help them with the custom as well. We give our custom agent access to the platform so they can get access to the documentation faster. So instead of waiting for the actual physical documentation, they can access the digital documentation online, and they can process the documentation with the customs locally, what is bringing speed and is bringing efficiency to the process as well. And we are reducing costs, over costs that our customers were paying before. Now we are reducing that for them.
All right. Well, fantastic, Gabriel. Great presentation, and congratulations on the growth as well.
Thank you so much for the space, and thank you so much for the questions.
It's our pleasure. All right, guys. I have Sarah's presentation. So Sarah, just give me 1 second and I'll start sharing my screen. And then if you wouldn't mind, Sarah, I'm not the best at this, but just go ahead and tell me next slide.
Yes,
and then we'll move on from there. Okay, cool.
Just I need to turn on my camera.
No. Well, if you'd like to, please go ahead to. If you prefer not to, no worries.
Don't worry.
Okay, cool. Just give me 1 second here. All right. Well, I'm going to mute myself really quickly. And then whenever you're ready, we can start the slideshow and the timer already.
Okay, I don't see the slides. How can I see?
Sorry about that. Let me just double check the screen is shared. 1 second. Can you see?
No.
Can anybody see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it. I can.
You can?
Yeah.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it.
Okay, sorry, Sarah. It looks like you're the one that can't see the screen for some reason.
Okay, don't worry, it's okay.
If you want, you can follow along in your own in the presentation, and then you can just tell me slide 2, slide 3, etc.
Okay, it's perfect. Yeah.
All right, it's ready on slide 1. So whenever you're ready.
Okay, it's okay. Ready. Hi, I'm Sarah Kumets. I found a problem that almost all of us have, but no one has really solved. Next, please. Have you ever entered to your wardrobe only to realize you have nothing to wear? Or even worse, you came back shopping for a shopping trip and opened your baggage and thinking exactly the same. I don't have nothing to wear. Next, please. Well, we solved this problem. We found out that the people don't know what to wear because they don't know how to combine an outfit according to their needs. Our app takes your body type, colorimetry, weather, and style to recommend you clothes from any brand that fits you. It also leads you to the store so you can buy all the specific clothes attire. It's your personal shopper at your fingertips. Next, please. Most people face that issue at one time or another. We have a unique platform to suggest people what to wear, especially in certain events for the physical future and weather, and also the characteristical physique like style, body type, colorimetry, and weather. Next, please. We start coding 6 months, and in November we launch our MVP in iOS and Google Play, and the results are outstanding. Currently, we have more than 8K active users every day and growing 20% month to month. Our go-to-market strategy is developing tools that allow users to share their outfit and ask for advice, attractive new users. Our content loop allows users to post outfits that get indexed at Google at content, bring more new users. Soon, we will create more tools and a platform that will allow community around the users. Next, please. Our numbers are outstanding. This is our numbers right now. And the next, please. We have this model two business model. First one is commission for each customer. Second is a SaaS, it's a fee per month. Second, third is advertise for merchandise and the data for merchandise. And that's it. Please help us to make feel good the people.
All right, fantastic, perfect. Thank you so much, Sarah, for the presentation, and as well, you know, I know it was tough with all of the issues as well. So let me go ahead and stop sharing my my screen here, and all right. And we should, I see a number of questions. So maybe we'll start with Jose, Fernando, and then Helene. Jose, please go ahead.
Okay, this is fast. Sarah, congrats for all the growth that you have had. What is the main differentiation that you have from the outfit discovery capabilities that have platforms like Instagram and TikTok?
Okay, because you need to answer the quiz in the platform, in the app. And with this quiz, we know your colorimetry, body type, style, and also your age, your height. And with this characteristic, we suggest an outfit just for your physical characteristic. It's not just an image like Pinterest or Google. Is exactly what you need for your body type.
Fernando, if you want to go.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, so yeah, I had a question also regarding the image processing.
Yeah.
That helps you buy your clothes. There has been several reports with different apps that have to do with beautifying people, to helping people get prettier or you know, help their looks, that have had a racial issue where it's the apps tend to favor more lighter skin for people. So for example, when you add like, oh, you put a beauty filter through someone, they get their skin into a lighter tone. Have you considered that into how the clothes could be
yes, of course,
and the sensitivity? Yeah, and how did you solve that in particular?
Okay. First of all, you need to answer your colorimetry. You know, your skin tone and your tone. It's not the same. And with this characteristic, we recommend the perfect tone for your skin with no effects on anybody, thing like that. You know, the Pantone of the garments is especially for your physical characteristics.
Okay.
Go ahead, Helen. Sorry.
Yeah, I do have two questions. One thing that I didn't really understand from the presentation, but you might have said it, is so me as a user, let's say I'm the customer of the shops. I don't have to pay. I can just download it and use it. And then the person that actually pays for the entire app and that you make revenue with are the merchants that sign up for your platform?
Yes, it's totally free. It's like an image consultant free at your fingertips. You download, and if you buy some garment, we redirect to e-commerce, maybe Zara or any brand that you need that fits you, and it's totally free. Okay. We have this data to recommend you, and we have also a premium feature that it's a image consultant a personal image consultant, 50 minutes per month.
Okay. And you said any brand, so you're basically able to recommend any brand that exists, or do they have to have a commercial agreement with you?
Any brand that fits you, any brand that is in the internet, we can recommend you. Maybe you can go to shopping mall and you see some brand and you think that don't fit you, but if the platform recommend you, maybe you think, this is my Outfit 365 recommend me and I need to see around or something like that.
Okay, and one last question I had, the person that uses the application, can they take, for example, a picture of themselves and this is also analyzed, or it's more just a questionnaire that you're providing?
No, we cure garment, each garment, we supervise, and that's it how the algorithm works.
I think
thank you.
I think, sir, she asked if there was a picture that it was taken of the user. Does the user take a picture of themselves?
No. You need to answer the quiz, like I like these shoes or this t-shirt, and we take this data. Not with a photo, it's just with a quiz.
Okay, thanks.
All right, and one last question, John.
I think David had his hand up first as well, but my question's quick.
Yes.
I think we might have lost John for a second. He's paused. David, did you have a question while we wait for John?
Yeah, sure. The platform, it all makes sense as a business model, and you know it all lines up. My question really would be, how does one scale from here, and why does one need capital to scale from here? You know, the platform works, etc. What does a round of funding bring to you that you don't have now?
The model scale we launch in United States because they have shipping in around the world, and you can buy any garment in the platform and you receive it in your home. This is a model scale.
Okay. Thank you.
All righty. And John, I think we have you back.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to ask quickly about these are all new clothes, I imagine, that are on offer. There's no scope for secondhand clothes as well to be offered on the platform as well, or is that something you're looking to incorporate, or what's your plan? What's your plan there?
Right now is only new brand or any brand, but no secondhand, because we need some e-commerce to recommend. So if you want to put some secondhand clothes, you need an e-commerce like Shopify or something like that. Can you upload your garments, and then you can sell it?
Thank you. Sounds good. Congratulations, Sarah, on everything you built so far, and thanks for the presentation as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, we're going to bring up the next contestant, Alvaro with Simply Root. Alvaro, are you with us? I see here.
Yeah, I'm here. Give me 1 second to share my screen.
Yep, for sure. Let me give you the co-host permission. All righty, Alvaro, you should be able to share your screen now.
I think so. I think you can see it, no?
Correct. Yep, we can see it. Whenever you're ready, sir, I'll go ahead and start the timer.
Sure. Then thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to start with a case. I think everybody has bought something through the internet and asked yourself this question: when my product will be arriving? And usually, if it's not a big attached the delivery company, the answer is going to be something like 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. And you don't have that much visibility at what's happening with delivery. What it happened is, if you are, I don't know, DoorDash, Amazon, they have a lot of technology to do these kind of things, but most of the delivery companies are not technology companies, and they have really outdated software to do these kind of things. And before the pandemic, it wasn't an urgency to put technology in logistics in the last mile, but the pandemic changed everything. What is Simperal? Simperal is an all-in-one last mile platform that helps any transportation, retailers, and actually any last mile company to put intelligence in the process to try to improve what they are doing, to try to make your deliveries in a more efficient way. Then we have this routing platform that the proof of delivery, also communication, and the important part of it, the learning part. Then you have all the tools that you need to complete the delivery on time. We call ourselves this machine learning logistic copilot for the last mile, and we are doing something that in the logistic before it wasn't never been done. Then making logistics sexy in the last mile, that usually is a topic that was really left behind. What see our customer using the platform? Usually they spend less vehicles using the platform, they reduce the overall cost, they automatize the process, and also improve the amount of vehicles, the deliveries they can do per vehicle. We are doing that Amazon they do by themselves, but we are democratizing that technology for $40 per vehicle for any company. And we have seen a lot of success in Latin America. More than 1,000 customers using our platform in 26 different countries with the top retailers in Latin America and Central America, and now we're expanding to new regions. We have offices in 6 countries in Latin America. We have been at 3x growth in our revenue in the last 6 months, and now we are starting to raise our Series B to be the top player in the Latin American market, and also tackling our next challenge, entering to the US market. We have small customers in the US, but we want to expand in the US bigger. Then we are right now in this process to translate from the #1 Latin American platform to be the top leader in the Americas. Thank you for your time.
And on time, Alvaro, that might have been the best graphic ever shared on the history of Connect, that last one. So congratulations on a great presentation, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. We'll open up for questions from the media panel. Helene.
One question that I have is about the pricing model. Like, what different types of pricings do you offer to the companies? So, for example, that especially smaller businesses can afford the service to digitize their logistics.
Yeah, we have different tiers. Then we start at $40 per vehicle. That usually is really cheap for small companies. Actually, 70% of our customers are SMBs. And we scaled up per volume and per functionality for bigger customers. Then enterprises like Falabella, Walmart, I was showing there, they usually don't pay $40 per vehicle, and they pay a little less per volume, but also more for the support and premium access. Then the $40 per vehicle is usually for SMBs to try to digitalize them more and try to give them technology that usually they didn't have before.
Okay, thank you. Another question that I have is when you're acquiring new customers, especially like in local areas where you're, for example, not present, what strategy do you follow? Like, for example, if you now expand to Australia to actually get the customers?
Yeah, good question, because we have offices only in 6 countries, but customers in 26. Then we have 3 main strategies. For big corporations, local strategy is the main way to go. For Mexico, for example, local teams, and go after that. We have resellers, companies that help to sell Simple Route in different countries. Then for Central America, we don't have presence in Central America. Then we have a really good reseller selling the platform there. We give all the support, but they make the initial sell. But also we have a really strong product lead strategy. Then Simple Route is really easy to use. Then it's not only in the name, it's part of the DNA of the company. Then someone in Australia, they saw the platform online, they onboard themselves, they pay through credit card, like the classical, more low-touch SaaS. You can do that in Simple Route. Then we spend a lot of time there, but because that pay off across the board, making easy logistics to contract this kind of products easily through the internet is easy for you, but also for Walmart. Then it makes the product better for everyone.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for Alvaro? Jose, Veronica? No? All right. Well, Alvaro, great presentation. And again, I think the best graphic that has ever been shared on the history of Connect. So congratulations, man.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. All right, guys. Well, we're down to our final 2. I wanted to ask really quickly, just to be sure that all of our judges are scoring in real time, if we can update those so we can go ahead and announce the winner after the event is over. Next up, we'll go ahead. Cindy, if it's all right, we're going to bring on Cindy from Abacrop. Cindy, are you with us?
I'm ready.
Awesome. Cindy, let me give you the co-host role. All right, you should be able to share the presenter role whenever you're ready.
Ready?
Yeah, we can hear, see you. And I think if you want to just be sure to speak loudly into the microphone, we'll be able to hear you well, Cindy.
Okay, you hear me better?
Yeah, much better. Uh-huh. Sounds good. Whenever you're ready, Cindy.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Cindy Cruz, founder and CEO of Abacro, a farm data management software for specialty crop farmer or producer. I am previous founder of agricultural enterprise, and this experience allowed me to know the problem that affect the farmers. One of the main problems at any farm operation, it is the management of information. Currently, small farmers collect data with pen and paper. This process is very inefficient. It made farmers lose time from production and increase the risks of quality control. And it costs average $22,000 per farms. And does not provide any business intelligence to make decisions. And we create Abacro to help farmers with data collection tools that allow consistency and quality data management in one place. There is no need of agricultural expertise to use the software. And we eliminate the process of paperwork, and the information goes from the field to the palm of your hands. In only 9 months of operation, we already captured 6% of Puerto Rico opportunity with our subscription model. Just imagine how many people we can help in the global market of 570 million farms. Our goal is to provide farmers the right tool to have more control of the farm, increasing the potential of acquiring more customers and opportunity to stay competitive in the market. From our team to all of you, thank you.
All right, fantastic, Cindy, and under time as well, which is always appreciated. So very well done. We'll go ahead and we'll start off with Veronica for a question.
Thank you very much. Cindy, how much does the subscription model cost?
$200 per month or monthly.
And does this operate offline and then you have to connect online to transfer all the data? Or how does it work? Thank you.
It's in the cloud.
Thanks, Veronica, for a good question. Jose, please go ahead.
Cindy, this is a really scalable company. It's really easy to scale because it's software. So are you thinking to go to new markets?
Yes. Yes.
Which one?
We already have in Dominican Republic and Costa Rica, and we plan to scale to Latin and California, US, but the biggest market is Latin.
Awesome, Cindy. Helena, I think your hand's raised.
Yeah, I do have a follow-up on the question that Veronica made. So when you're saying it's on the cloud, I'm wondering what happens if a farmer doesn't have internet access. For example, like I live in Colombia and a lot of farms are very in the mountains and usually you don't get any 4G nor 5G, but I guess it's better to have connection to this. So what are you doing to overcome that challenge, or how can you overcome that challenge?
I know the answer, but my first language is Spanish, and for dummies, any detail, my partner Josue respond these answers.
Hi everyone. Yeah, for that answer, right now, customers that doesn't have internet, we cannot provide service to them, and that's fine. But we, in our round that we are making right now, we are heading to have partnership with communications company, because we have a social purpose also to allow internet to go everywhere. So we plan to get really good partners in communications that can help us bringing internet to the rural communities and have those farmers to have internet and also can use our software.
Okay, a follow-up question on this. Your partners are, as I understand, maybe is it telecommunications providers, governments? Who are the partners that you're aspiring to make?
We aspire to have communication partners for internet like Liberty, Claro, all those AT&T, and all those internet providers.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else have a question for Cindy before we move on? David, John, Fer?
Sure. You mentioned do you think that there's a minimum size, farm that it needs to be for this service to be of use? Do you have that in mind, or can any farm potentially use this, subject to them having the internet connectivity?
Our target is small and medium scale farmer that the annual revenue is $1,500.
Okay.
$100,000
Okay, thank you.
yearly.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, Cindy, congratulations on everything you guys have built. Really cool software tool. So thank you very much for your presentation as well. You did excellent. All right. We are at the last startup, everybody. So thanks so much. We'll go ahead, give one more quick public service announcement. If the judges would please remember to wrap up all of their scoring after this round, so we can go ahead and announce the winner nice and quickly as well. And I did want to mention, it does look like we will have some time for questions and answers from the journalists at the end of the event. So any attendees listening, as well as startups that are presenting, if you have any questions about best media practices or what makes a story about a company newsworthy, and you'd really like to learn from these journalists that collectively have decades of experience, please go ahead and ask them at that time. Any attendees, you guys are welcome to write in the question and answer part of the Zoom, and we'll get those questions answered for you as well. To wrap us up today, and hopefully the lawnmower is not going, we have Jonathan from Raincoat. All right, cool, man. Let me go ahead and give you the presenter role, Jonathan. Just one second. All right, you should be able to present, Jonathan.
Okay. You guys see my slides?
Yeah, we can see you. And whenever you are ready, go ahead and begin, and I'll start the timer.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. I'm Jonathan, co-founder and CEO of Raincoat. 2017 was one of the scariest moments of my life. I had just moved back to Puerto Rico to take care of my mother, who was super health delicate at the time. And as the hurricane approached, I was super terrified, not because of me, but because of my mom's situation. This was her 3 days after the hurricane, when I was finally able to reach her. I didn't know at the time that the hardest part of the hurricane was going to be the hurricane itself, but rather the aftermath. We waited for over 324 days just to find out if we would get any aid or if her insurance would pay. So imagine having a hole in your house and not being able to do anything for 324 days. And at the end of that really long process, we didn't get anything at all. Unfortunately, this experience was not unique. It doesn't matter if it's hurricanes, earthquakes, or floods, developed country or not developed country, government or insurance, they're all very, very slow to react. And it seems to be quite universal. However, solving this type of problem is incredibly difficult at scale. From complex risk models to big data infrastructure to enterprise software, It's very hard. And that's where we come in. Raincoat develops embedded climate protection that pays instantly and the automated infrastructure that powers it. We integrate with channels to provide white labeled products that they could never offer before. For example, in Mexico, we support the government in protecting over 200,000 farmers. In Colombia, we enable local banks to offer credit protection to farmers to protect them from weather events. In Puerto Rico, we partner with brands to offer innovative solutions that increase their sales while also protecting their customers. All of this under one unified software platform. And we've built a great team that combines scientific, software, and insurance expertise and are deeply passionate about what we do. Our mission is to protect every single person on the planet from the disruption of climate change, and we're building the necessary infrastructure of that new world. Thank you.
Awesome. Really interesting backstory as well, Jonathan. So thanks for sharing with that with us. We'll go ahead and we'll start with Fer.
Yeah, pretty good presentation. I wanted to ask, you mentioned a bunch of LATAM countries in your market and in the markets that you serve right now. Are you planning on expanding into other markets like the US, Europe, Asia?
Yes. Yeah, we have big plans for the US. We have a couple interesting projects coming up in Asia and hopefully in Europe as well. I mean, climate change is obviously a universal problem. It's not LATAM specific. I would say we've expanded in LATAM mostly because of proximity and a lot of the co-founders, we speak Spanish. But we don't see ourselves as a LATAM specific because we do see this as a universal problem.
Gotcha.
Veronica, please.
Thank you. How difficult has it been for your company to insure people or companies here in Mexico? So, for example, when we don't have an insurance culture that it's very developed.
Yeah, I think this is a bit of a universal issue. It's people getting insurance, and I think one of the ways that we like to see it is it's not so much about selling insurance, but rather embedding protection. So a lot of our deployments are deployments where it's not about like someone running a big marketing campaign and then hoping a lot of people to sign up, but rather how do we really integrate these products where it makes sense within the context of what the person is trying to protect, right? So if it's a farmer, right, how do you embed the protection in an environment where the farmer actually has the option, understands it, and wants to acquire it? Or how do we get governments to subsidize it? So there's a lot of things. We try to avoid direct sales because I just don't think that is the sustainable way to get insurance across. And if you really think about it, direct sales and insurance is actually a little bit strange. That as a society, we've accepted that as the main form of buying and selling insurance.
Thanks, Veronica. Anybody else? Jose, John? Any questions for Jonathan?
I've just got a quick one. Sorry.
No, go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, just a really quick question on a world that's sort of seems uniquely unprepared in terms of its institutions for climate change and to deal with these problems. I mean, how are you finding, or how are you kind of expecting to find the sort of litigation side of this when there's no, there's scientific consensus, but not kind of broad consensus as to climate change being the cause of a lot of these problems that you're trying to tackle?
Yeah, that's actually a great question, John. Something that I think has been really interesting to us is as we talk to it blows my mind that when let's say you talk to a very small farmer in Mexico, a farmer that may not necessarily even in some cases know how to read or write, or they speak a particular dialect, you'll find that there's no debate with them on whether climate change is real. They feel it. They see it every season. They see it every year. They see the shifting. And I feel like in the context of like protecting people, you don't necessarily even need to have an agreement on whether humans are impacting it. You just have to look at the data, and the data screams the reality, right? Like these events are becoming significantly more frequent. To give you guys an example, just from a hurricane perspective, there's been a 4x increase in hurricanes in just 4 decades. That means there's about, when it comes to natural disasters, we're talking about like 800 events every year now. But in 1980, which isn't even that far ago, there were only 200 events per year, right? That's a 4x increase in just a couple decades. And, you could debate what caused that. But there's no debating the fact that people are trying to survive these things, and financial safety nets and protection schemes are quite necessary. Otherwise, you're putting your whole sovereign nation at risk.
Thanks, Jonathan. Really cool what you're doing. And again, kind of born out of a really, a hard time, but a pretty way to start a company for sure. So congratulations. Thanks for sharing that with us. Everybody, I wanted to just ask if for the judges, if you could take the final 30 seconds and prepare the judges scorecard. And then we'll go ahead and announce the winner. Before we do so, we're really happy to have somebody here to help us announce the winner. Another special guest. We have John Paul Schmetz, who is the CEO of RapidSpace, a hyper open cloud provider offering virtual private servers, content delivery networks, global IPv6 and 4G, 5G virtual radio access networks. He'll explain all of this. He's also the founder of Nexty, the largest publisher of open source free ERP software in Europe. Here to give us a little bit more information about how he's helping emerging markets, and then to announce the winners as well, we have Jean Paul Schmetz. Jean Paul, thanks for joining us. Are you with us, John? I think you might be on mute, sir.
Oh, yes, I'm mute. Hello, how are you doing?
Everything as well. Thanks for joining us. I'd be happy to give you the presenter role if you'd like, or if not, no worries at all. If you needed to share your screen.
I need to share my screen.
You got it, Jean Paul. 1 second. Here you are.
Try.
All right. You should be able to share your screen now.
Yes. Where is it?
Down at the bottom, the arrow pointing up.
Yeah. Let's see.
There we go.
So you can see my screen, I suppose.
It hasn't loaded yet, but it looks like you're sharing. We just see a black screen.
Oh.
We could. I could try again. Let me take away the presenter role, and then we can try it one more time. Let's see here. All right.
We'll do it that way.
Try one more time, Jean Paul.
Okay, we'll do. No, onglet, no. No, seems not sharing, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's coming up blank, so apologies there. I'm not sure what's going on that side. But we can see your mouse.
It's funny. So I will try one more last time, and then I'll do it without.
Okay.
Okay, so I suppose it won't be possible. RapidSpace actually has some experience recently in emerging markets. So recently we won a memory of understanding with the Vietnam Minister of Telecom, and also in Thailand with Defense Forces. And I wanted to give just a small idea how that could be possible and how we were addressing emerging markets through radical transparency. So what we produce is actually a 5G base station that's pretty cheap, like maybe $3,000–4,000. That's very portable, 2.4 kilograms. You turn it on, you connect it to Starlink, and you can bring that way internet with 5G about anywhere in the world, plug and play in a few minutes. And that can be helpful for mines, for hotels, for government, for hospital, maybe for farmers, as we just saw. But emerging markets bring some challenges. One is compliance. We have, for example, laws such as the FCPA in US or similar ones in Europe. There are problems of payment in some emerging markets. You get the money at your bank, then your bank rejects your payment because some part of the contract is not compliant. Problems of sovereignty. Emerging market governments sometimes want to be sure that they are not going to be spied or put under control by foreign governments. There are export control restrictions, import control restrictions. So we developed a way to solve that by using radical transparency. We provide all the source code of the software, all the source code of the hardware, of the process. We go through a local distributor. We do local manufacturing. In essence, instead of producing something in Taiwan or in Europe or US and shipping out to emerging markets, we deliver to emerging markets all the information so that they build things by themselves. And we focus on sovereignty use cases where the Chinese industry is not very strong currently. And this way, we can actually reach emerging markets such as Vietnam or Thailand. And I think it's time probably to announce the winners. So the third place is for Simply Root, the second place for Nowport, and the first place for Raincoat.
All right, fantastic. Congratulations. Jonathan, I'm not sure if you wanted to take a little time to speak, and congratulations, Jonathan, winning first place.
No, thank you. Thank you all so much. Raincoat is bittersweet for me for a couple reasons. I don't know if this is the right venue to share it, but I'll share it just so that you get, for those who are curious what happened to my mom after the hurricane, she lived many happy years afterwards, but she did pass away this year earlier. So, part of our mission in continuing this is really looking at the problem from a fundamental people perspective, right? Like what exactly is the necessary things that have to be in place here? So as I was listening to all of your pitches, I was actually thinking through different solutions that could potentially protect some of your clients from this disruption. For example, now ports, I was specifically thinking about all the climate disruption that happens around ports. For my prior startup, I know that very well, so would love to reach out actually. But essentially, I really appreciate you guys listening to the story, and it's a very real story. By the way, it's not like a fake pitch thing. It's very much what happened. So thank you so much.
No, thank you, Jonathan. And thanks again for sharing that story with us as well. And congratulations on everything you've built, and best of luck in the future as well. Want to also say congratulations to Gabriel from Nowports in second place, and Alvaro from Simply Root in third place. You guys did a great job, and to all of the startups as well who made this happen. And it's not easy to come up here and present, and some not in their first language either. So congratulations as well. And again, thank you very much to Jean-Paul Smets. It's super fascinating what you're building with Rapid Space, or what you've built with Rapid Space, and how you guys are entering these emerging markets as well. So it was really great to have you with us as well. So thank you so much. Before we leave, I wanted to mention that we do have just a couple of extra minutes, which normally we don't have. So we'd like to open up this time if any of the startups that presented today, or anybody in the audience would like to share or ask any questions of the media panel. Please feel free to just kind of shout out, or attendees, send me some questions in the Q and answer. Anybody at all? Anybody working on pitching the media right now, or anybody curious about communication strategies or anything like that? All right. Well, speak now or forever hold your peace, I guess. I just want to take, before we wrap up here, really, again, congratulations to all the winners. Thanks for all the startups for joining us, all the judges as well. Helene, Fernando, John, David, Veronica, Jose, you taking time out of the day means the world. So thank you so much. I also want to send a special thanks to everybody who tuned in to watch today as well. This will be uploaded to the Publicized website as well if you guys want to check it out later. And finally, a big thank you to my colleague, Maria Delgado. She put all of this together on the back end as well, with a lot of work. So thank you so much, and congratulations on everybody. And hopefully we'll see you at the next Connect event down the road. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.